Welcome back to Turn Pain into Power podcast. Today's topic is the psychology behind the trap of abusive relationships. Yes, take a seat, grab you a snack because this one's going to go deep. And please remember to check out my custom t-shirts available on TikTok, Pain into Power Shop. Custom t-shirts with abstract art. This is one of my art pieces which started the Pain into Power movement. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, when you subscribe to the channel, this is how you begin to become a part of the movement and turn your pain into power. All right, let's get right into it. And stay till the end so that I can show you what this art piece is, because I know y'all wondering, what is that behind that plant? Yes, so stay tuned, and at the end of this episode, I will broadcast the finished piece of the African Queen. So let's hop right into the topic. Psychology behind the trap of abusive relationships. Yes, y'all. Now this is deep, and this is something that I realized through God after my healing journey from an abusive relationship. This is the psychology that keeps people trapped in these abusive, toxic cycles. Now, it has occurred to me that a lot of people look at victims of abuse as pointing the finger. Oh, why didn't he or she get out of the relationship? Oh, why did they stay with that partner? Oh, maybe they deserve that. Now, this hopefully gives you clarity of the psychology of the abusive, toxic cycle. What gets people entrapped into these relationships? Number one, the abused partner seeks love and validation from the same person that diminishes their very existence and invalidates them. Number two, the psychology behind the victim of abusive relationships is in a state of mind of seeking love and validation from the abuser in the relationship. And I'll give you an example. So a narcissistic parent, a child that has a narcissistic parent, and this is speaking from my point of view as well and from my experience, is stuck in this abusive cycle because they are seeking that love and validation that they did not receive in their childhood. So they're seeking that from their partner, and it keeps them stuck. It keeps them stuck in these abusive cycles that they consistently repeat in the different relationships that they enter. So perfect example is a child seeks desperately for the attention and acceptance from a narcissistic parent. However, they only receive that acceptance when they do something good. For example, good grades, or maybe giving attention to the parent and making the parent feel like the parent is good or special by doing what the parent says, basically. So they only receive positive affirmation, only receives acceptance when they do something good from the parent. However, they routinely receive neglect and abandonment from that parent. So this keeps them stuck in an abusive relationship because that same childhood trauma of having to desperately seek acceptance, however, only experiencing that acceptance and receiving that acceptance from the parent when they do something good. So they are stuck in this abusive cycle with their partner, repeating the childhood trauma in that relationship. So they are conditioned to have to experience pain in order to receive the acceptance and love that they desperately seek. Number three. Now, this is why it is so hard for a victim of abusive relationships to get out of an abusive relationship, because they are already victims of childhood trauma. 9 times out of 10, because of their childhood trauma, they are already conditioned to receive minimal love and attention by pleasing their partner. So they're conditioned to receive minimal love and attention. In order to receive that, they are conditioned already by receiving, the majority of the time, pain and neglect. So they are conditioned to have to go through pain the majority of the time in order to get breadcrumb minimal love and attention from their partner. Number 4. Now, on the other hand, the psychology behind the abuser is typically also a victim of childhood trauma that, however, has now positioned themselves in the position of the person in control by becoming the abuser. So their mindset is, in order to be in control, they have to be the abuser. So they are conditioned now to receive pain in order to get minimal love. So now they change the role into becoming the abuser. So they have to project pain. They have to give out pain in order to feel validated and to feel powerful. Controversy of what they experienced in their childhood, which was the majority of the time feeling neglect, abandonment, and powerlessness. So they basically flip the role to become the abuser in order to feel powerful. Number 5. Now I'm going to give you the psychology behind the abuser. The abuser does not feel worthy of love. And so that is why they project that same energy onto their partners. You see, the abuser can only see so far as what they feel for themselves. They see a reflection of themselves as a damaged object that is bruised. And so they are repulsed by their victim that shows them so much love. A person that demonstrates love to a person that feels unworthy of love automatically turns off the abuser. The abuser is actually repulsed by their partner that demonstrates love to them and validates them, because they themselves don't feel valued. They themselves don't feel worthy. And so they can only see as far as what they project. So they can only see you as a reflection of what they see themselves in the mirror. So think about the psychology of the abuser. They see you as unworthy and invaluable because that's what they see themselves at, right? So this all gonna connect the dots. This all gonna make sense to y'all. I promise y'all. So the abuser must abuse in order to feel powerful. And the abuser does not love you. They only show a little bit of breadcrumb love in order to keep you entrapped. The abuser only needs prey to abuse. They only need supply in order to abuse and feel powerful. So the reason why they abuse you is because they see you as unworthy and invaluable. And so that is what they project to you, because that is how they feel about themselves. It's full circle, y'all. You cannot deal with people that are insecure and feel unworthy of love, because you're going to pay a high price for the love that you demonstrate them, because they are always going to see you as unworthy, as a reflection of them. They're always going to see you as unworthy and invaluable, and they're actually repulsed by you showing them love because they know they're not worth it. They know they're not worth it. Yes, y'all. And that is why the abuser cannot love or value you, because they do not love or value themselves. They only need to feel powerful. And in order to do that, they are conditioned to hinder and hurt their victim. Number 6. So you see, the abuser constantly has to abuse their victim in order to feel in control and powerful. So in order to feel validated and worthy, they have to abuse their partner, their victim that they're in this abusive relationship with. And the moment that the abuser feels that they are losing control over their partner, like a fish in a fishing pool, the moment they feel like that little fish is pulling away, they will bring out their tricks. They will trick them back into the trap of an abusive relationship with love bombing, gaslighting, and breadcrumbing minimal amounts of love, so that they can trick their abuser to going back into their cage, going back into the trap. Yes, y'all. So it is not that easy. 9 times out of 10, the abused and the abuser are stuck in their abusive relationship trauma bond. So they're stuck in that trap. And they're both entrapped because they're both stuck in that trauma bond. Please remember to like and share and subscribe to the channel. Now, when you subscribe, that is how you start turning your pain into power and start your movement to turning your pain into power. I hope this helps, family, and I hope this brings clarity on the vicious cycle that the abused and the abuser are stuck in, the vicious cycle of abusive relationships. It is not that easy to get out, y'all, and I'm just grateful that God chose me to get out of that generational curse, a generational curse breaker, because generational abuse cycles are real, are very real, and it's very hard to get out of it until you finally align and connect the dots of what is going on. The victims of abuse and their abusers are stuck. They are stuck reliving their childhood trauma. They're stuck in these vicious abusive relationships, these abusive cycles. I hope this helps y'all and brings clarity to the psychology behind abusive relationships. Please remember to check out my custom t-shirts available on TikTok, Pain Into Power Shop, and my artwork. And I will go ahead and reveal to y'all drum roll of the African Queen that I finished. Now, this is on sale, and you guys can hit me up by email. Info is in the bio, but this is on sale and it is a finished piece. Thank you for tuning in.